Welcome back muli mga kaibigan sa bagong muling mga balita na ating mapapakinggan at mapapanood dito sa channel ng Bayan, ang Bayang Pinas. Dito ating matutunghayan ang mga bagay na nangyayari sa ating bansa, partikular na umano sa loob na mismo ng gobyerno at lalong-lalo na dito sa kasalukuyang administrasyon. Ngunit bago ang lahat, kung bago ka pa lamang sa ating channel ay siguraduhin mong ikaw ay mag-subscribe, pindutin ang notification bell at syempre piliin na rin ang all upang lagi kang maging updated sa mga balitang bago, totoo at walang bias. Syempre mga kaibigan at kung mga ating mga solid viewers naman dyan ay maraming salamat naman po sa inyong walang sawang pagsuporta. At huwag din pong kalimutang magpakita ng suporta sa ating channel sa pamamagitan ng pag-like at pag-share sa ating mga videos. At syempre mga kaibigan, kung meron ka naman pong hinaing at opinyon, ang ating comment section ay bukas para sa inyong mga opinyon at mga hinaing at kung ano po ang nais nyong sabihin sa ating mga gobyerno upang mabasa na nito. Heto na nga mga kaibigan, atin nang panoorin at pakinggan ang balitang ito. Welcome back muli mga kaibigan sa bagong muling mga balita na ating mapapakinggan at mapapanood dito sa channel ng Bayan, ang Bayang Pinas. Dito ating matutunghayan ang mga bagay na nangyayari sa ating bansa.
In other words, bakit nyo pinapayagan? Kung hindi naman po sila, aside from being a guns collector, di ba? So, bakit natin pinapayagan?
Before,
Sige.
nung nasa serbisyo pa ako, one long and one short lang ang allowed. Would you agree with me also?
Yes, sir.
Yes. One long, one short lang allowed. Nabago na ng mga batas. Now, give me the logic why an individual person would be allowed to possess 15, 20 firearms. Bakit? And why would a person need 50 rounds of ammunition, more than 50 rounds of ammunition? Except for those firearm, shall we say, involved in sports.
Okay, Mr. Tapasio, go ahead.
Mr. Congressman, I can cite an example on why a person would need more than 15 guns. So,
More than 20.
yes. So before, if we talk about 15 to 20 years ago, ang uso lang po is a 1911 and a rifle. But now with technology, if you notice, if you go to the gun show po, Mr. Chair, may I remind you, we're all for safety. When we put up gun shows, most of our seminars is about gun safety. We prioritize safety. Most shooters prioritize safety before they even shoot. That's the first thing you are taught. So with regards to a person owning 20 guns, it's different for every scenario. For example, I'm a sport shooter. If I get into a category, let's say for example, pistol caliber carbine, when I compete, I don't buy one gun. I buy two. So dalawa na kagad yun. I also buy, for every category that I compete with, I need two guns, especially if I'm serious, if I want to compete. Because pag nasira ang isa, I have no time to repair or replace. And another po, with regards naman po to self-defense, dati po lahat full-size pistol. Now we have a full-size, you have a subcompact, you have a compact, you have a micro pistol. So you have 4 different sizes already for pistols. And as time goes by, every now and then, a person would buy a new gun because masyado na malaking baril ko. I used to carry a full size, but as I am getting older, I would want something more compact. Dati, all steel ang baril ko. Now I want a polymer pistol. So that's one of the reasons why people have more than 15 or 20 guns. Because there are times that I have to buy 2 guns for competition, and at the same time, if I have a permit to carry, I have the option now because I bought a compact, a subcompact, or a micro pistol, or a full-size pistol. So that's probably, Your Honor, kung one of the reasons why people need 15 or 20 guns. They can be competing. There's new technology. There are even pistols right now that are foldable. I don't want to carry a pistol in my bag kasi sumasabit siya. So there's a foldable Glock pistol now that's available in the market. And there's a smaller revolver that's smaller than a micro pistol. So every person who are qualified to purchase a firearm, every person who has an LTOP has the option to buy these guns. And as long as they can pay, as long as they can register their firearms, as long as they comply with all the legal requirements that 10591 and the PNP set, as long as they are able to renew their firearms every time, there's nothing wrong with that. Kasi at the end of the day po, Mr. Chair, from our perspective po, we'd prefer po kasi na okay na marami ka, basta rinirehistro mo, basta rini-renew mo. As long as we have the data kung nasaan yung mga baril mo, we're fine with that. Kasi, believe it or not, Mr. Chair, we are one of the most strict when it comes to issuing licenses.
Doon po tayo magdidebate na, Mr. Topacio. Yeah. And I will stand at the plenary to object to that if these bills will pass the committee level. I wouldn't agree na dapat kung po pwede magkaroon ka ng 20 na firearms. Gusto ko na bumalik sa dati.
That's why, Mr. Chair, if I may po, no, during my statement kanina, it's important to take note that 10591 is primarily for the legal gun owners. Kasi if we assume that all legal gun owners with RA 10591, those who have more than 20 guns, kung i-assume natin na all those people are may masamang balak, even we could even ask the president to.
I'm not assuming anything. Don't put words into my mouth. I did not assume
That's why,
anything.
Mr. Your Honor, if I may po, that's why po I emphasize that we separate those legal gun owners who conform to RA 10591 and those illegal gun owners or illegal manufacturers, illegally possessed firearms, should be separate. Because what we want, why we support these amendments is because aside from the industry that it supports and the economic impact that it has, it also alleviates the problems that gun owners have been experiencing for the past how many years? Because this bill was passed 2014, and we have had IRRs that have overreached already, and that's why we're correcting it now, and that's why we support po yung amendments po.
Could you please give me an example where an IRR provision has overreached?
So, a perfect example, Your Honor, in your law, RA 10591, I'll give you an example po na ngayon po. It's sort of an issue sa industry. We have a provision in RA 10591 that allows every gun owner to own 7.62 by 39 and below. As of now, only 223s are being licensed. 7.62s haven't been allowed for the longest time because there was a restriction set by the previous administration na bawal nga po ang mga calibers na to. But in your law, it is stipulated that it is allowed. But in your IRR, I think they... Yeah, pinagbawalan na po siya. But I think, Your Honor, 223s pinapayagan na po ngayon, but the rest of the calibers until now hindi pa rin po.
PNP, would that be true?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
May know the basis of the PNP, why you are not following the law?
The regulatory function of the PNP, sir.
Can a regulatory function or provision of the PNP rise over and above the law? Following your logic. It's
No, sir.
a provision of law, according to Mr. Topacio, and you agreed to it. Why are you not following the law?
But, sir, going back to the provision on licensing firearm, that this may be licensed to qualified individual, sir. And at times, sir, yun nga po.
If, Colonel Dilag, if it is expressly provided by law and your IRR doesn't say so, says otherwise, I think that's ultra vires. And the good lawyers would agree with me. Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Bakit hindi nyo sundin yung batas? Are you trying to tell us that you are defying the intent of the framers of that law? Yung sinabi ni Mr. Topacio.
We'll look into it, sir.
Wala na, Mr. Chair. Marami pong salamat sa opportunity.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's the reason why we wanted to have a technical working group. Medyo masyadong masalimotong istorya ang ating pinapasok. But of course, we have seen the different positions of the different government and private sector. And this representation believes that we need to create a technical working group on this purpose. So I need to have a
Mr. Chair.
motion.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Bosita, please.
Mr. Chair, after our lengthy discussions, no, parang isa lang nakita ko na the best na i-handle itong technical working group.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, may I move to create a technical working group for these measures? to
So
be
there is a
headed-
motion to create a technical working group. Any second the motion?
Second, Mr.
Is
Chair.
duly seconded. So the motion is now approved. Second,
To be
who's
headed-
gonna head the technical working group?
To be
Yes, sir.
headed by Honorable Vice Chairman, Attorney General Representative
So,
Romeo
wait,
Macosi
there's a
Acop.
motion, but we need to find out the availability of Chairman Acop if he will going to accept the chairmanship of the technical working group or not. So, Congressman Acop,
I
please
do not know
reply.
if the Honorable Bosita is mad at me. Simply because he's giving me more work.
And there's a lot of balancing that the good chairman have to do on this issue, no, on the three house bills that you're going to discuss. But I think it is imperative for the chairman of transportation to be a part, no, of this technical working group as a chairman. So I believe so that we need a man like Chairman Acop to head the technical working group. And naniniwala naman ako na magiging fair, no, si Chairman Acop. So there's a motion that Chairman Acop be the head of the technical working group that was created by this committee. Any second the motion?
Second, Mr.
This
Chair.
was duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved. All right. So the members of the technical working group will be Senator Bosita, you will be a member as well. Congressman Plato, Congressman Arrogancia, Congressman Dago will be a part of it as well. And also Congressman Tebes, who attended this hearing. And eventually, pag nagdi-discuss na po kayo, meron na kayong knowledge about it. So, no objection. So, the members that was mentioned by this chair will be a part of the technical working group. All right. So,
3, Your Honor. Article 3 of RA 10591, Section 9, it says there, subject to the requirements set forth in this Act and payment of required fees, a qualified individual may be issued the appropriate license under the following categories.
May be issued.
Yes,
May be issued.
yes.
In other words, it is subject to regulations.
Well,
Would you agree with me?
yes, Your Honor, of course. That's 10591.
I would like-
I think we are getting confused between
I'm
a
not
privilege.
confused, attorney.
No, the
I'm the
confusion.
one asking questions here.
Yeah, okay,
I'm not confused.
okay.
I would like to read also a decision of the Supreme Court
I'm familiar with that, Your
Acosta versus Ochoa, date, GR number 2111559, October 15, 2019. The gist of that decision is that use of firearms is a privilege, not a right. There is no constitutional right to bear arms. Neither is the ownership or possession of a firearm a property right.
We agree, Your Honor.
Wala na tayong pagdipatihan kung nag-agree ka, attorney.
Hindi.
Di ba?
I think we
Ikaw
have
naman.
to
So,
Ikaw
attorney-
naman
So, attorney
gusto mo pa
Gutierrez.
lumusot eh. Huwag kang
clarify the
lumusot.
privilege and statutory right. It's practically almost the same and synonymous.
Walang nagsasabi directly na statutory right to own a firearm. No. I would beg to disagree with you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Alright.
Huwag ka na lumusot,
So,
Atty.
ang pinag-uusapan
Kasi,
po,
bago ako pumunta rito, nag-research na ako. Kayo, hindi nyo pa nga siguro nababasa yung mga ito eh.
We are very familiar with that, Your
Oh,
Honor.
come on, Attorney. Don't tell me that crap. Itong tanda kong ito, marami na ako nakasalamuhang kagaya mo. Noong palusot.
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay. Alright.
Now, there's another
go ahead,
question.
go ahead, Congressman Acop.
General Principle, Mr. Chair, regarding this issue. Now, dito ngayon, pag-uusapan natin, which is more important, accessibility or safety? Matanong ko pa nga kayo, ano po ang mas importante? Kasi, if I read the provisions of the bills, ginagawa, mas gusto natin na mas accessible ang firearms at saka ammunitions. Now, which is more paramount, accessibility to firearms or safety of the people?
Okay, resource persons who wanted to answer.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
DND, please, answer.
under the Constitution, Mr. Chair, under the General Welfare Clause, is the safety that's more paramount, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
What's your reply, please?
Under the General Welfare Clause of the Constitution, it is the safety which is more paramount
paramount.
than accessibility,
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
paramount consideration is the safety. Okay. PNP, again.
TND.
PNP.
The populace, that comes first.
Okay. Nika, you want to answer?
Just like with the position of the PNP, sir, safety.
So, the ILG, same position?
Yes, sir. Safety of the people,
And also
sir.
the national crime?
Yes,
Same?
Mr. Chair. Same.
All right. The manufacturers and the dealers associations, you want to answer on the query of Congressman Acop? Please, the one wearing a white polo, please answer back.
That's attorney. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. We actually agree with the sentiments of the government personnel that the safety of the public is something to keep into consideration. Although we would also like to submit that the accessibility and also the safety does not necessarily contradict each other, that there could be a picking of certain provisions which may be both beneficial to both the safety of the general welfare of the public as well as also making it accessible to some licensed individuals, because as we know, and as also pointed out by the Representative Acop, and correctly so, that the ownership of firearms, it is actually a privilege. We just have to distinguish that there is a difference between the property itself, which is a right to property, and being licensed to own, which is why we're here all today to request the kind indulgence of this committee, because we understand that the firearm ownership is regulated by laws, which is why we are here today. Having said that, we also submit that there is a possibility of promoting both accessibility and also the public safety, which is why we have to look into both jurisprudence, as also cited by the committee members here today, as well as relevant statistics, whether both local or international, to see trends, if there is any merit to promoting one sort of restriction over the other. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other resource persons who wanted to answer back? Mr. Rico? Mr. Rico?
Yes, thank you for recognizing this input, Honorable Fernandez. So for our feedback, and this comes from our experience of owning firearms for many years now. Of course, we all want safety, and our firearms laws here in the Philippines at present are actually doing a very good job at keeping the public safe. However, I believe that there is somewhat of a false dichotomy here between having to choose between safety and accessibility, because the reality here is that we can have both. We can have both. We can have very safe firearms laws and at the same time improve the efficiency to help lawful gun owners. And the reason why this is important is because the more we restrict firearms ownership, the more loose firearms proliferate. it is very easy for criminals to acquire firearms illegally. And if we make it very difficult for people to own firearms, it will only mean that criminals will have a bigger disadvantage over us, and the more likely that firearms being sold in the black market will proliferate, because legal firearms are very difficult to acquire. So I think that we can accomplish both by working together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, mag-12 na, and we have another schedule. And probably, if Chairman Acop is already
Sir,
done.
I'm not over yet.
You're not yet done. Sige, go ahead.
I might be a member of the technical working group. Gusto kong malaman na kung ano kaisipan nila eh.
All right.
Bago kuhan.
So you want to this other resource person to answer as well?
Sinasabi po nila, the right to own a firearm is associated with the right to self-defense. Ganon yung mga statement na naririnig ko po sa inyo eh. Di po ba? Would you agree with that?
Who wants to answer? From the...
Kayo gusto nyo magkaroon ng firearms for self-defense. Di po ba? Yun naman ang katotohanan eh. Bakit po di natin aminin? Sige nga. Eh bakit kayo tahimik ngayon?
Advocates. Attorney, go ahead.
If I may, yes, Representative Acop, that is mentioned in Section 2 of 10591, sir.
Oh. If you read Section 2 of RA 10591, Declaration of State Policy, the state recognizes that the right to self-defense is provided as a justifying circumstance under the revised penal code. However, this right to self-defense, it is to be done through the use of firearms, is granted only to qualified, underscored, qualified citizens. And therefore, there's a need for regulation. Would you agree with that also?
Attorney, go ahead.
Yes, Representative Acop, yes, there's a need for regulation, which is why we are here today to propose what possible means of regulation may be, because even if it were loosening or restricting, either or would still be regulation.
And assuming for the sake of argument that the right to possess firearms was considered a property right, it is doctrine also that property rights are always subject to the state police power. Would you agree with that also?
Yes, your Representative.
And therefore, regulations have to be made.
Yes, as long as it is reasonable, Your Honor, and following the proper standards of the strict scrutiny test, intermediate scrutiny test, or rational basis, as the case may be, sir.
Now, this question would be addressed to the public and the private resource persons. Why should one have 20 firearms if the purpose is for self-protection or self-defense?
O dito muna sa mga gun advocates. Dito muna tayo. Left side. Anybody can answer. Again.
Your Honor, while we understand that the license to own and possess a firearm is a privilege premised on one's inherent right to self-defense, it is also understandable that it being property, if a person is already licensed and qualified to own a firearm, they may own multiple firearms as they may wish, and as long as the regulatory agencies would see it and deem fit that they can own it. And by the current status of legislation, it would depend on the specific type of firearm if they are allowed to own 2, 5, 10, 15, or more, Your Honor.
Okay, sa side ng ating mga government agencies, you want to reply on that? O sino? Sino po?
Yung pulis dapat sumagot eh.
DND na PNP
Bakit
siguro.
yung pinapayagan? Kasi, sa tingin ko, mas marami kayong earnings na nakukuha. Kasi mas maraming napapalisensya na firearms eh. I think that's the only logical reason that I can see. Why would an individual, single individual, need 20 firearms? If he's not a shall we say, anong tawag na natin po doon, yung collector of firearms. Sige nga,
General Dinag,
justify.
Mr. Chair, we have gun owners or shooters who likes to compete in every category. Merong pistol, merong revolver, meron din pong rifle. But meron din pong shotgun. Pero meron din po talaga, sir, napansin kami na nangongolekta lang po ng mga various calibers ng firearm.
Under the law, meron kayong category ng mga firearms collector eh. Di ba? But you are not answering my question. What is the logic behind an individual owning 20 firearms if he is not a firearms collector?
in other words, bakit nyo pinapayagan? Kung hindi naman po sila, aside from being a guns collector, di ba? So, bakit natin pinapayagan?
Before,
Sige.
nung nasa serbisyo pa ako, one long and one short lang ang allowed eh. Would you agree with me also?
Yes, sir.
Yes. One long, one short lang allowed na bago na ng mga batas. Now, give me the logic why an individual person would be allowed to possess 15, 20 firearms. Bakit? And why would a person need 50 rounds of ammunition, more than 50 rounds of ammunition? Except for those firearm, shall we say, involved in sports.
Okay, Mr. Topacio, go ahead.
Mr. Congressman, I can cite an example on why a person would need more than 15 guns. So,
More than 20.
yes. So before, if we talk about 15 to 20 years ago, ang uso lang po is a 1911 and a rifle. But now with technology, if you notice, if you go to the gun show po, Mr. Chair, may I remind you, we're all for safety. When we put up gun shows, most of our seminars is about gun safety. We prioritize safety. Most shooters prioritize safety before they even shoot. That's the first thing you are taught. So, with regards to a person owning 20 guns, it's different for every scenario. For example, I'm a sport shooter. If I get into a category, let's say for example, pistol caliber carbine, when I compete, I don't buy one gun. I buy two. So dalawa na kagad yun. I also buy, for every category that I compete with, I need two guns, especially if I'm serious, if I want to compete. Because pag nasira ang isa, I have no time to repair or replace. And another po, with regards naman po to self-defense, dati po lahat full-size pistol. Now we have a full-size, you have a subcompact, you have a compact, you have a micro pistol. So you have 4 different sizes already for pistols. And as time goes by, every now and then, a person would buy a new gun because masyado na malaking baril ko. I used to carry a full size, but as I am getting older, I would want something more compact. Dati, all steel ang baril ko. Now I want a polymer pistol. So that's one of the reasons why people have more than 15 or 20 guns. Because there are times that I have to buy 2 guns for competition, and at the same time, if I have a permit to carry, I have the option now because I bought a compact, a subcompact, or a micro pistol, or a full-size pistol. So that's probably, Your Honor, kung one of the reasons why people need 15 or 20 guns. They can be competing. There's new technology. There are even pistols right now that are foldable. I don't want to carry a pistol in my bag kasi sumasabit siya. So there's a foldable Glock pistol now that's available in the market. And there's a smaller revolver that's smaller than a micro pistol. So every person who are qualified to purchase a firearm, every person who has an LTOP has the option to buy these guns. And as long as they can pay, as long as they can register their firearms, as long as they comply with all the legal requirements that 10591 and the PNP set, as long as they are able to renew their firearms every time, there's not